and talk about what I'm focusing on this month, and that is my home and really making it feel like a sanctuary and peaceful. And we got a little overwhelmed there at one point. We're doing toilet training, and so we had a lot of washing, and yeah, I was focusing on some other things. And so this month, I want to bring the focus back to our home and really elevating that, because we spend so much time in our homes. And my husband and I are also, we're really home people. We love being at home. Our son, one of our little boys, he loves going out and doing things, so we do do that as well, but we love being at home. And we've been watching a lot of real estate shows. We really love that. That's what we do in our downtime. And so watching these big, beautiful, stunning homes and really being like, wow. And so our home is quite big, but the design of it makes it has two separate areas. Uh, so it's got two kitchens and two bathrooms, and it's got four bedrooms, but it's split, and you have to go outside to get to the bottom level. And so some things, it can feel quite small, even though it's quite large. And yeah, so this month really focusing on making sure that everything in our home is being used and is clean and is functional. We're the type of people, and we're teaching this to our kids, that if something breaks, that's just not fixable. It's just gone. And with kids, they rip up books, and if it's usable but we don't want to keep it, we'll send it to like the secondhand store. And hey, darling, come here. And so yeah, this month our priority is on our home, and come on, sweetheart. And so yeah, really making the home the heart of your life. And you want to come home and feel really at peace in your own home. And a lot of people keep things way too long. I actually had a client who was asked, because she was the eldest, to keep all of the family's heirlooms. And she had a home that was quite small also. And we worked through her being able to move on things that she didn't want to keep, and she didn't want to be the one that had to pass down all the family heirlooms. We sat there and went through all the different things and who would love it. And I think a lot of things like family heirlooms and things that are given to us we feel like we have to keep that in our life. And so my son's just turned on a vacuum. He's 11 months. And so I don't believe we need to keep those. We can lovingly just, say thank you and pass them on to someone else. I'm currently in a place where we have two kids and we don't plan to have more. So I am packing up, cleaning up, removing everything out of my home that the kids no longer need, and giving it to someone else that I know is having a baby. And so being able to gift things to other people. And most of the time I find that people don't even ask if you still have something. And they've given you a gift, they don't even remember that they've given it to you. And so I think it's much more of a priority that when you come home, you feel like your space is so peaceful and joyful. And yeah, I think that's much more important than what we keep from what other people have given us. And so that's my big focus and priority this month. I think a lot of people focus on everything in their life, whereas if we can start with one aspect of our life and really clean that up, that'll go a long way. And so this month, for other people, if you want to focus on your home, it might be making that big decision that the home you currently live in is no longer the home you want to stay in. And so being able to decide where you want to go next. A big point in my life when I was like, okay, what's going to take my life to the next level? I realized it was to move, to experience something else. And I see, can I ask you something? Sure, if it's, you may ask me something. I'll see if it's in relation and scope of what I know. And so, yeah, asking yourself big questions about your home. And like, I actually wanted to be an interior designer when I finished school. I just love aesthetics. And I ended up doing nutrition and dietetics and then becoming a coach and a kinesiologist. And yeah, but I really did want to be an interior designer. So now, fortunately, I have the ability to, design my own home. We all have the ability to design our own home, and working out what feels really good for us in our own home. Like my husband and I have completely different styles. They're the same, but they're the opposite. So he really loves a like dark, moody home, and I love a really light, bright, spacious design. And like I love white and wood, and he loves wood too, but like dark wood. And so being able to bring those two together and being able to make it cohesive. And so I'm making our home feel like, the best place on earth to be. And that's fine. You can say whatever you like. You may be kicked off if you don't keep your comments to yourself. But anyway, this is what I'm focusing on. And so a lot of the time, some people love to be really minimalistic, and some people love to be more extravagant with what they own and what they have. And it's a very personal experience. And like, we love different cultures. And so we bring a little bit of that into our design too. And also having kids makes things different as well. And so like we have a playroom for our kids because we found that just their bedroom, we wanted it to be really quiet and calm, and where they could just get dressed. And being able to make that a beautiful space. And so we created a playroom. But a lot of people with kids, they have too much stuff. And so our kids know that they must keep their toys in one place. Our house does not want to look like it's run over by kids, like they've taken over the whole space. We didn't even buy a lot of like kids stuff, so like they use normal knives and forks, and they're 11 months and 2.5, because we just didn't want a lot of kids stuff that's barely used. We also, when like I was pregnant and stuff, we bought the bare minimal stuff for children, for babies, and so that we could work out what we wanted. And I'm actually coaching someone through this as well. And so yeah, it's a very personal thing. Some people love the whole small homes movement, and some people love big beautiful homes, and it's like where you are at financially also, and whether or not you want a big beautiful home and you can maintain that. And I honestly have, even since I was little, I used to go into friends' homes and like reorganize all their books for them, because yeah, I love, I think it's an extension of you. And my grandma, who is a big person in my life, she always said to me that she knew when my life was being messy, because my outside life would reflect being messy. And so I also see that too, that if I'm feeling, if my life out externally is very messy, it's probably because my mind is messy, and that means that I just have to reset and make sure everything is clean again. And that's a beautiful thing. So getting rid of like the trash from your mind and your home, I think, is a very huge reflection. And and so yeah, I think people don't start with their home, they start with their, finances, or they start with their body, but they don't start with looking at like what their external environment looks like. And so yeah, that's my priority this month. And also working out what would take my home life to the next level. And I've been thinking about it for a little while. So I really value sitting down and eating to a beautiful table, and so I'm looking at how to incorporate like a beautiful table setting to sit down and have dinner with. Oh, thank you, Rex. I do think more women do need to know what independence is to change people's lives. Yeah, so I get the point that you're making there. And this is what I do for myself each month. I like to focus on a particular aspect of my life and go really deeply with it, because I think a lot of people are very surface level with their life. And so I think it's important to look at each aspect of your life and make sure that you are doing as much as you can. I design my whole life, so I'm not an interior designer, even though I would have liked to, but I definitely believe in designing your whole life. That's why My channel is called Created Life Co. So if you want to follow that, you can. And yeah, for me, I like to design every aspect, and I think they all flow into each other. A lot of us are getting caught up in how to do it all at once, and therefore people get really overwhelmed. And also they start, taking on what other people believe and not focusing on themselves. So I believe by having one focus for the month, then the brain has more energy, your life has more energy, because you're not trying to change everything at once. And so that's what I'm doing. And you can start as small as not even one room, but maybe one shelf. Maybe you want to just get it all done at once. Like a month is a really good amount of time to do that. Some things take like time, because the person that I know who I'm going to give all my baby stuff to, she's not ready to take it on, so I'm storing it, and hopefully as soon as possible she'll be taking that, and that'll make my home feel more spacious. So true. And Gen Z keeps making wrong decisions in their life, I think because of poor parenting or divorce or something. I do believe that as well. I think people are at the moment, very confused, very stressed, very overwhelmed. Every individual situation is different, and what works for different people works for them, and that's my belief. But I do believe that it is our personal responsibility, no matter where you came from, no matter what you do, no matter your income level, it's your priority to take care of you and create the life that you want. And a lot of that does come from parenting trauma and divorce and all of that. And a lot of people are getting married just to get divorced, and a lot of people aren't even getting married at all because they see it as a failing structure. Which one do you want, darling? You can get the block, darling. Just go get your stool, and you can get the block. You can get it, darling. You can go get your stool. How do you deal with burnout? Well, the topic here is like your home and making it a beautiful space. So, because I don't know your specific situation as to why you're burnt out, whether that's work or not, Rogers? Is it Rogers? No, sorry, I'm the golden mango. is is because like all of your systems, so your work might be stressful, burnout if you're a man, if you're a woman, to burn out, from your job. I find with men it tends not to be their job, it tends to be the rest of their life pie. With women it tends to be a film school. Even then, if you're a man, I would say I would look at other aspects of your life. This is particularly about home, so maybe you need to look at your home life, having a beautiful room where you can have quiet time and sleep well. There's a lot of sleep deprivation in the world, and diet is a huge thing with that. I would say if your primary focus is on school, it shouldn't be stressful, but I do know a lot of people have financial stress when they go to school, but I can recommend right this minute, like focusing on your home life, what is going on, allowing yourself to have the space to focus on school because your home life is in order. I heard the quote that says, "Every child deserves a child, but not every parent deserves." Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people have kids just to have kids. I remember when I was in high school, it was very popular to have kids to get the money from the government here in Australia. And that's quite sad because I think it was $5,000 Australian at the time, and kids long term cost a lot more than that, and providing them a safe home, a beautiful home environment, yeah, that a lot of people don't think about those things long term. So I spent a very long time working on releasing all the triggers and stress from my home life growing up, and then, making sure that I wasn't going to pass that down to my kids, really understanding who I am, and what I want from life so that I can be that strong foundation for my kids. I think people should second guess having kids if they don't have that all in place. The golden mango, yeah, because I don't know your specific situation. Like I've said, that I help people focus on one thing at a time, and then you build on those things. So if your priority in your life is for you to be studying, like, I think also children aren't being taught to prioritize that. So I'm finding that it was really big for families to help their children stay at home while they're studying, or to give them the money financially to be able to study and make that the only focus. Like, I believe if you're planning on studying, your social life should definitely come second. You know, I feel like someone should financially be able to help you out so that you can prioritize that study. Someone helping you, like, it's a whole system. Like for my boys, if they want to go and study, that's what I'm going to teach them. That should be your main focus. We've lost a lot of that in our society, especially men. They should go and focus on studying and then focus on the family. There's that whole thing is way too stressful to do that all at once. So my boys will be able to, stay with me for a few years, if they stay with us for a few years, if they need to, so that they can focus and prioritize that study. You are a wonderful mother. Your children will make you proud one day, hopefully. They make me proud right now. I can honestly say they both walked really early. Like, this is no competition except their own. But they walked really early. They talked really early. My 11-month-old, he has all these words. And they're happy and they're healthy. And they make me proud every day. So yes, I would be focusing. I mean, there's so many different parts of your life you can focus on. If you'd like to join me on focusing on your home life, even just focusing on that a little bit each day might allow your brain and your life to have more energy in order to focus on those other things. So if I was personally studying, I would make sure my desk was super clean and my room or my house was super clean, so I could just, as soon as I needed to study, just focus on that. I hope that helps. I also find that people aren't prioritizing their home. They also really want to be away from their home, maybe because their home isn't a beautiful place to be in, which means that you're not coming home and really recovering. We also are making sure that so there's a lot of, you can look into things like, yes, darling. So nighttime for us, as soon as the sun goes down, which currently, because we are in winter, the sun is going down at about 5 p.m. So it's like slowing down time. And a lot of people are teaching their brain that nighttime is still daytime. So we use a lot of red light in our home. Red. So this allows your brain to really calm down. We have red lights in our bathroom. So if we need to go to the bathroom, rather than turning all the lights on, we turn the red light on. We also, have soothing music. Yes, darling. We have really soothing music, and we bring that kind of energy into our own home so that our bodies know that, it's calming down time. I make sure that before bed there's no toys in our bedroom, because toys aren't a bedtime thing. So a lot of people might need to change up the energy of a particular room. So if people in our home, maybe they're struggling with like food issues, or they want to become more healthy, that the kitchen no longer has snacks that you can see, that you might just want to eat, clothing. A lot of people spend so much time in their brain thinking about what they're going to wear, and half of the time they don't even wear any of it. There's like, they say, I think there's 8 items that people tend to gravitate towards all the time. So people's wardrobes can be really overwhelming, and just picking like one spot within your environment that will really make your life go next level. And also living with other people. So my boys, I'm teaching them, if you mess it up, you have to pick it up, and making sure that they are learning, how to respect the home. Because if I let them just do their own thing for a little bit, I come along and there isn't. Can you give that back to him, please? Thank you. I think he had it first. Cheese. I'll find you some cheese in a minute, darling. And so, making. My son's asked me a question and I've lost my trail of thought. But that's what happens when you are a mum as well. You want a book, a drawing book. Okay. And so, teaching your kids to clean up with you, no matter how young they are, teaching anyone in your home to respect everything. And first off, that means you have to respect your home firstly, in order to ever make someone else respect the home. And also, sometimes we live in places, our home is in places that we aren't living our best life. If your house is by the ocean, it's a very different feeling to if you want to focus on your career and you need to be in, say, the city, or whatever it is that you are trying to focus your life around. So for us kids, they need space. So we prioritize space. Maybe when they're a little bit older, they could live with us somewhere else. But our number one thing is we needed a spacious home and a spacious backyard. And so that became our priority. And it's just, I would recommend spending a week just pondering a question about what in my home life do I need to change to get the most out of my life? And just spend a week really thinking about that, and then thinking about all the possibilities of that. So for me, like, because I want to get this big, maybe not a big, but a beautiful table that fits into our life, I will spend the first week going, okay, is that the best thing for us right now? Looking at, once you've decided that that is, looking at the financial, what's going to fit, what's going to be great long term. I think everything in your life should be really intentional. Everything, of course, can be changed in your life, but being really intentional with what you buy and what you change, because a lot of people will go and buy all this organizing stuff, but to organize their homes, but it actually becomes more stressful because then you have all this stuff trying to organize things, but it doesn't actually work. Or recreating a whole bedroom that's financially stressful. Last year we decided to upgrade our bed. We got like a big king bed, but it took us a while to really work out what was going to work for our life. We didn't just go out and buy a bed. We sat intentionally, and we had to make sure, like, if our children got on and off the bed, that they weren't going to hurt themselves, and make sure that it was something we could keep long term, and making sure, financially it was going to be a good investment. And so making things a lot more intentional. And so, yeah, this month, it will end up being more than just focusing on getting a table, but there's organizing in a good way that needs to be happening. Also, winter is a great time. They say spring cleaning, but I actually think that winter, because a lot of us so it's winter here in Australia, spending more time at home looking at things and going, do I really love that? Do I really need that in this space? Is going to be like a priority for me and my family. I am going to have to leave this here. My beautiful children need me, but thank you so much for joining me. If you want to subscribe, I would love that. That would really help me out. And so thank you very much. Happy home decor, cleaning, upgrading